For the second consecutive year, it is Rockies going against the Yankees in the World Series. Last time the Yankees came out victorious in 6 games. This time the Rockies hoping for a better result. I believe our team has greatly improved, and I think for the most part the Yankees are relatively the same, maybe slightly worse with some of their returning players, but they made up for it with a couple of good additions, especially to their offense. Now, at the end of last episode, I believed, or at some point in last episode, I believe I said that I was planning on playing full games here for the World Series. That was my plan, but I just think with the timing of everything, as I'm recording this episode will come out the day before early access for College Football 25 comes out. I do have early access to that, and once I start playing that game, I don't see myself wanting to play anything else for at least a week, if not even longer than that, but probably about a week. So I don't want to be in the middle of the World Series and then just pause the series for a week or longer. So with that being said, we will be doing the World Series as we have done the previous playoff episodes, where I'm planning on doing the entire series here in one episode. Might take a little bit longer here because as it is the World Series, I plan on probably jumping into a few more moments than I have so far in these games, but I really like the way these episodes have done. I've always kind of had problems figuring out the right pacing to do in the playoffs. I always feel like the playoffs kind of take too long with the way I've done it in the past, and I think this is a great compromise that I'll probably be using even earlier on in my franchises going forward for the playoffs. It'll help maybe the years go by a little bit faster. Now, what about for after this episode? Now, I mentioned that for at least the next week, I'm going to be focusing only on College Football 25. But what about after that? I honestly don't know yet what my plans are. I think I've always kind of had a goal of making this a 10-year rebuild for the last couple of seasons in the game. I always thought that was, enough time to get a big enough sample of this team before we head into a long-term simulation. But now as we draw closer to it, and as the views in the series have started to die down pretty significantly, I'm not sure I can commit to going that deep anymore. At the very least, we will be doing a long-term simulation after this year if I decide not to do any additional years. But, that's the very least. I'm 100% going to be finalizing the careers, seeing what Dorsey's career and Murillo's career looks like towards the end. Not only because I really want to, but because it's going to be a requirement for a video idea that I have for when this series concludes. So, I can commit to that at the very least. What I do in addition to that, I guess we'll just probably have to see how the first week of College Football 25 plays out. But enough of talking about the end of this series. We're not done yet. It's time to hop into the World Series. We'll be going against Shane Bieber, it looks like. Although sometimes this is not accurate for the playoffs. For example, we're definitely not starting Herb Reyes this game. So, with that being said, let's hop into game 1 of the World Series. We're going to be in front of the hometown fans at Coors, rocking the standard home unis today. It will be Chase Dollander instead. He's pitched game 1 of all of our playoff series so far, and he's done excellently in them. An underrated point of just how good Dollander's been. He's also been one of just 2 pitchers that's had to pitch at Coors in this postseason run, which makes how impressive he's been pitching even more so impressive. He and Neil Dorsey arguably been our 2 best pitchers so far in the postseason, and those are the 2 that are pitching at Coors. So you really got to love how well they've performed, and just in general how improved the pitching has been. Last year the bullpen really ended up coming back to bite us in the World Series. Hoping that A, we don't have to use it as much so we can get our starters to go deeper into these games here this time around, and B, when we do go to the bullpen, that it just is a better experience all around. That part, it's been more up and down in the lead up to the World Series, the bullpen part, but the starters have absolutely improved over last year. It's been a theme. I've talked about it several times in these last few episodes, but it's just been that important into how confident I am we can get a different result this time against New York of a different series than we had last time around. We also, of course, have Rafael Murillo in the lineup, which we did not have for the last couple of games in the World Series last time out. Here's a stat. Here's a look at the stats here. Last time, the Yankees pitching looked much better, but the offense looked much worse. This time, the Rockies just look better all around. The offense isn't as dominant as it was last time, but it's more than made up for by the fact that our pitching is now awesome in the postseason. Have to continue it here in the World Series, though. Got some scars last time. Last year, we were kind of the happy-go-lucky team that was maybe happy to be there by the end of it, happy to beat the Braves, but this time we know we belong, and I think we know we're better than this Yankees squad. So it's time to now kick off the World Series action here, starting out with a ground out here, and O'Neal Cruz with the first hit of the World Series, but we get the outright after that. Ryan Doe strikes out. Shane Bieber was a big-time problem for our offense last year in the World Series, and another really good start for him in the first inning. Salas with a single. Both teams able to get a single somewhere in the inning, but unable to really string together anything. Salas does steal his way into scoring position, and I think this is the first hop-in spot for us. I think we're going to be, like I said at the top of the episode, a little bit more proactive in our hop-in spots. It will likely lead to a longer episode, but the World Series is a bigger stage than anything else we've done so far, and Kyle Brown goes down swinging. Stranding Salas in scoring position. Score will remain at 0 apiece. Increased stakes just means more high leverage situations, I think, for us to hop into. We get a leadoff walk here, and then Brian Doe, the 2-run homer for the 5'7" leadoff center fielder, gets the Rockies on the board first. Murillo, a single. Now Dorsey singles after him. We got another scoring opportunity to hop into here. Zach Veen, the machine. One of the better, I think, stories of this franchise. Somebody that I drafted his replacements, Enrico Salazar, a couple years ago, only for him to turn into a star right after. He just needed the push. Just needed the push to become a player worthy of a 5-year contract extension that we gave him last off season. Had some really good moments both in the playoffs and in the regular season for this team. I still remember his grand slam in his MLB debut. That was awesome. In the 9th inning, no less. Didn't end up winning that game, unfortunately, but it was a sign of things to come for this guy. It just took him a couple of years to fully develop it after that. Gets a walk here. Second walk of the day allowed by Bieber, so Salas has the bases juiced with the 1 out. He was one of the few guys that actually got a hit the first time through the order. Big spot for him here. This one's fouled off. to start it off. Hitless in his last game, but that was against an entirely different ball club, so don't think it's something we're too worried about here. The circle change gets him looking, and we've got the second out. Omar Figueroa had a very crucial grand slam last episode out. This one maybe not as crucial as that one was, but could really open things up for the Rockies if you were able to get that big time hit here. Falling behind the count 0-2 after fouling off the knuckle curve there. Bieber doesn't have the high velocity, but he's got great control. And he's proved very hard to hit with what he did to us last World Series. Figueroa staying in this one, battling with some foul tips, and now laying off that slider outside. Bieber into the high 50s with his pitch count so far, into the third. Gets out of the jam there. But if we're looking on the bright side, I think the fact that his pitch count is where it is means that we'll likely be headed to the Yankees bullpen before too much longer in this game. Can we see Dollander continue his stellar playoff pitching? He goes another 3-pitch inning here. We haven't even needed to really watch much Dollander. He hasn't put himself in many binds that we've needed to hop into. He's just been super solid. And he pitches his 5th shutout inning this time as well. Rockies offense has once again slowed down. We've got a scoring opportunity now for the Yankees with Austin Wells. Dollander up into the 80s now, so energy not a problem yet, but it's could become a factor soon. Wells looking at a very hittable changeup to start the at-bat. Let's get a ground double play here. That would be the perfect way to end this inning. Gets ahead of him, 1-2 with the slider. Wells out in front of it. Strikeout or a ground ball double play. I'm really not picky. I'll take either one. And we get the former, the strikeouts. Climbing the ladder with the fastball high. And Wells could not connect. It's now 2 outs for Michael Massey. Does have a single so far. I think this is probably going to be Chase's last inning, no matter what the result is. Don't think we have a big enough lead to risk energy here with his trying to extend a complete game shutout. Officially now into the 90s. 2-2 count. Fouled off. Really good location there, up and in. Fouls it off again. Maybe a less good of a location that time around. Very hittable. But not like it was right over the middle or anything. And the changeup gets Massey out in front. Chase. Dollander's 6 shutout innings continues to be an absolute ace caliber pitcher in this postseason. I love what I'm seeing from him. Zach Bean extends the lead with that solo homer there. Solid singles after that, and Chris Clark enters. Just like I said, we got that pitch count on a spot where he wasn't going to last very long in the game. Have some more scoring opportunities here, but now with the bases juice, I think this is where we hop in. No outs yet in the inning. The bases are loaded. Sterling Thompson turned a walk into a run. Last time, although, it was really Brian Doe that turned the walk into the run. But if he hadn't have walked it, it would have just been a one-run homer. So it still got to, of course, give him his credit. Thompson, that one was left over the middle. A little bit late on the swing, so he fouls it off instead. Pitch outside evens up the count. Good take there. I don't know if I would have been able to sit back on that one myself. Payoff pitch. Sterling Thompson not done with this one yet. We've seen some nice battles when we've hopped in so far. And that's the pitch you lose on. Definitely sitting on off speed there. And the fastball goes by him at 94 miles an hour. Left in a great spot to hit as well. So now it's up to Brian Doe to try to do something here with these loaded bases. Scored the first 2 runs of the World Series. His last time up. That one caught a lot of play, but once again, getting lucky here that our Rockies hitters aren't able to time these up. And he's swinging at the knuckle curve low. 2 strikeouts since we've loaded the bases. You can't load the bases and come up with nothing. That's just, you can't do it. It's not allowed. Pretty sure it's against the MLB rulebook.
Ball. 1 ball, no strike.
Let's see what Clemente Clutch Herrera can come up with here in this tight spot. All the wiggle room we had when we started this hop in is now gone. Clemente needs to reach base somehow. Not even a sacrifice fly will do it this time. And another pitch right over the middle that we fouled off. Can we time up this guy's stuff, please? That one's hit hard, right up the middle. And it's mishandled by Jones as well in the center field. That might score an additional run. Runners on the corners. The runner on third decides to hold instead. We get the 2 runs that we needed. It's kind of the minimum you feel like you want when you have bases loaded, no outs.
Ball, no. 1-0.
See what Murillo can do. Really good 2 episodes ago against the Cubs. Not quite as impactful last series. Looking to get his mojo back. Already does have a hit today. And looks at that pitch on that inside lower edge. 20 pitches now into the inning for Clark. That one's going to be a hit. If it stays fair, and it does. 6 Rockies runs now aboard. Clemente Herrera is going to go for home, and he's not going to be even remotely close. Not sure what the thinking was there. But an RBI double from Rafael Murillo nonetheless makes it 6-0 in favor of our Rockies, as we do decide to substitute out Dollander in the 7th inning. Saalfrank comes in and does his job. A double there for Salas makes it 3 hits so far in this game. Since we're up 6-0, I'll let that scoring opportunity go by without hopping in. O'Neal Cruz puts the Yankees on the board here in game 1. And then Aaron Judge hits another one right after that. We make the pitching change, as we should. Kopech comes in. He was one of the biggest quote-unquote additions to our bullpen this last year. It's been great so far, but was not great there. A triple from Brian Doe. Let's see if we can get one of these runs back here with Clemente Herrera. Brought home 2 last time. And got one right over the middle to start the AB. Trying to add just that little bit extra of insurance. Sometimes this bullpen needs that extra insurance. That one's going to be another base hit for Herrera, and he brings home another run. You always kind of hesitate, I feel like, nicknaming a player clutch, because it puts a lot of pressure on them to come through in big moments. But dang it, does Herrera handle the pressure so well, so consistently. So the Rockies take a 5-run lead here into the top of the 9th. Massey grounds out. Melendez grounds out. Can we finish off the victory? Going against Mark Vientos. He was a major problem for us last year. Hit a ton of home runs in the World Series. Hitless today. That one's going to float into the stands for strike 1. Another foul ball there. Maybe not the best location here from Smeltzer to start. What can he do? 0-2. Gets him swinging on the curve. The Rockies take game 1 of the World Series. Chase Dollander. Another absolute incredible game at the toughest stadium to pitch in all of baseball. What has Dollander allowed? Like 1 or 2 runs this entire postseason, max? It's been incredible what he's done for this team so far. Striking out 6, allowing just 3 hits as well. 14 hits total on the board for the Rockies, allowing only 5 hits total. And apart from back-to-back homers allowed by Michael Kopech, the pitching shut this team down in a major way to start the World Series. Really like so far that we've seen contributions from just all around the lineup in this postseason. We don't have many maybe dominating performances like we saw last postseason, where some people were dominating, some were really struggling, but just all around, everybody's playing their part for the most part, and makes you feel really good. I'm rocking the City Connects here for Game 2. Game 2 will also be Neil Dorsey's chance to start here. Energy looks good, so we hop right on into the action. Spencer Jones hitting .356 so far in the postseason, and O'Neal Cruz hitting .347 for the Yankees. You guys certainly producing in this postseason run for the opposition. Rockies faithful, of course, showing out once more for their squad, wanting to take that 2-0 lead over to New York. so far for Dorsey. 1.5 ERA, which is really good. The 1.42 whip is a little high. So far, only 3 strikeouts in 12 innings. Striking people out is not the way he gets his job done. But at the end of the day, he still gets his job done, which is all that truly matters. Spencer Jones does lead off the game with a double, though. David Fry with a walk after that. O'Neal Cruz with a strikeout. Judge flies out, and we get through the inning, allowing nothing. Great response there from Dorsey after a tough start. Nothing doing for the offense, though. And a walk there will be the only thing that the Yankees get in the top of the second. Chase Hampton so far not having any problems with this lineup yet. Caught stealing there. Nice job by Ethan Salas. Clear the base paths there, and still nothing doing for the Rockies. So far, we've seen quite the pitcher's duel. Being with a single, we have yet to get a single runner in scoring position. The last time anyone was in scoring position for either sides was the top of the first. Oh my goodness. There we go. We finally get a scoring opportunity for the first time in this game. Bottom of the 5th. Let's see what Brian Doe can do with it. And he blasts it to left field. Brian Doe, his second home run of the World Series, brings home 3 Rockies runs. What a spectacular player. Just another awesome story in this franchise. Drafted way back in year 1. Waited patiently. Spent all those years developing in the minors. And boy, has the wait been worth it with this player. Guess we'll watch this one pitch before we simulate here. Brian Doe. Feel like he's become a fan favorite in the comments section throughout this series, and he's absolutely has deserved it. Another game where Neil Dorsey's out here putting in serious work. He's not striking anybody out, but he's getting a lot of outs. Dorsey energy starting to get low here, so that's something to watch out for. We'll just decide to make the pitching change here. I think that's respectable. Here he goes, 6 innings, shutout innings. Second consecutive game where we've had our starter go 6 shutout innings. But as soon as we go to the bullpen, some potential problems starting to arise. 2 reach with no outs here, top of the 7th for New York. Andrew Saalfrank, one of the lefty relievers we took in the Rule 5 draft. Hoping to add some variety to our bullpen. Had himself a really solid year. Wouldn't say elite by any means, but certainly somebody that played well enough, I feel like, to trust him here in the postseason. He gets a pop fly there to Murillo. Must be pretty cold out there as everybody's wearing their long sleeves. Now we're a double play away from being able to get out of the inning scot-free. But facing the top of the order, previewed it before this game, Spencer Jones had a lot of success hitting for average so far in the postseason. Started this game off with a double as well. Will not be an easy out here. You know, big spots here. Foul ball there will make it 2 strikes. And he gets him swinging on the slider, low and away. Jones struck out here. Saalfrank doing a great job here. But we will switch up to Michael Kopech ahead of this next batter. The only pitcher who gave up any runs last time. We're going to the same pitchers we did in game 1. Circle change, just couldn't quite get it. Falling behind the count now. 2-1. David Fry 1 for 1 today. Switched to Kopech to get that righty-righty matchup, but I do believe Fry just hits better against righties either way, but it doesn't matter here. A slider gets another strikeout. And the Yankees unable to get on the board here in the 7th. Kopech comes in and does his job to get that final out. Both teams with 4 hits. The Rockies just have the home run that brought them across. It'll be Carlos LaGrange in for the Yankees. Now, a walk for Sterling Thompson there is the only thing the Rockies are able to come up with. O'Neal Cruz with a double here, going against Brett Martin. Aaron Judge strikes out, and now we can see if Martin can come away after giving up the leadoff double with allowing nothing. Lefty here, that was right over the middle. Could not leave it anywhere closer to the middle of the plate. This one popped up into the outfield. Herrera trotting after it and snags it on the warning track. Had some good distance, just took way too long getting there. Yankees remain scoreless as we go bottom of the 8th. They hit Clemente Herrera, and then he gets caught stealing. Just not a great sequence for Herrera. And now we're into the 9th. Our closer comes on. He strikes out 1. He strikes out 2, and can he strike out the side to put the Yankees away? Shut him out. He's got the 9-hitter for New York.
Ball, that's in. Ball.
Falling behind Dominguez, 2-0. With the first 2 pitches. Gets strike 1 there on the cutter. And that's gonna get called for strike 2. Right on that corner. A strike away from striking out the side. Said we got a full count. With Spencer Jones up next. Want to get that out right here. Instead, we get the walk. That double in the first, the only hit so far of the World Series for Spencer Jones. So with his numbers where they are, he must have been insane leading into the World Series, probably over 400. There we go. This time getting ahead of the count. 0-2 really puts Spencer Jones in a bind here. And that's going to be tipped to Kyle Brown. Makes the easy throw, and the Rockies are 2-0 in the World Series. Much different start than what we had last season. I'll tell you, Rich Walsh He was up and down closer for us in the regular season. He's been a money closer for us here in the postseason. Decided to not take away that closer role. It was really tempting to, but decided to trust him, and it's worked out for us so far. He's closed all of these close games for us, making sure the Rockies are winning these games that feel like they're up for grabs. In the end, the Yankees end up with more hits. Not a good day offensively for the Rockies. Brian Doe, the only one to bring home any runs in game 2. In hindsight, that moment that we hopped into was even bigger than I thought it was at the time. And there you see the only scoring hits of the ball game. Pitching has held up in a major way. But can it hold up on the road? Would love to sweep the Yankees after what they did to us last year. Not going to say it's going to happen. All I'm going to say is I would love it. All right. Rocking with the purples. That's the one I wanted to use anyway. It's going to be an overcast day. Jose Barreto will be on the mound for us this time out. Last time he pitched was the only game that we lost in the NLCS. Although, like I said at the time, I don't think it was his fault. He allowed 3 runs in 5 innings, which certainly isn't great, but the offense just couldn't get anything going that day. If we can get a similar caliber performance from him, where he not only allowed 1 run through 5 innings, he just came out in the 6th and allowed 2 before he was relieved. If we can get that caliber of performance, I think we still have a chance to win today. And of course, we'd love an even better performance if we can get it. The Rockies win here in game 3. You got to think that things over in New York are going to start feeling pretty dire for this team. Coming back 3-0 is one of the hardest things to ask a team to do in all of sports. Tristan McKenzie will pitch. He's had a 1-1 whip so far in his 20 innings, a 2.70 ERA. He's been very good. Not going to be an easy guy to get offense against. Another guy who pitched well against us last year in the World Series. Murillo will reach via error. And then Neil Dorsey, a 2-run home run in the first inning, his first homer of the World Series. And one of the big storylines last World Series that Dorsey did not have an extra base hit in the entire World Series. Gets that monkey off his back here in game 3 with a massive 2-run home run. Barreto goes strikeout into a single, into another strikeout, and a nice start for him. Kyle Brown with a single there. Barreto able to get a decent amount of strikeouts here to start this game. And speaking of strikeouts, we go back-to-back Ks to start this one. A walk from Dorsey puts the Rockies in another scoring position with Veen at the plate. They're giving us about a 75% chance to win. It's way too early, I think, to be anything much higher than 50-50. McKenzie gets ahead of the count here. Veen in a bit of trouble. What a good take there. 1-2 pitch coming up, and it's by Veen on that lower part of the zone. That's just a really good pitch. Hard to blame Veen for going down on that one. Tried to protect at the last second, but it was too late at that point. Genzi's already gotten by him. So it'll remain 2-0 here as we head to the bottom of the third, and we get another shutout inning. Our starting pitchers have not allowed a run yet in now 15 innings pitched. Caught stealing. There is Fry. Salas doing a good job getting these steal attempters off the base pass, but the Yankees now have their first scoring opportunity of this game. Barreto just passed 50 pitches, so should be able to go at least a decent bit longer. It kind of just depends on if we can keep this strong night going. Yankees faithful starting to chant out there. This is, they know, a very big opportunity for them in this game. The thing that has been Barreto's downfall is that he loses confidence in at the drop of a hat. As soon as things kind of start to go sideways for him, they go completely sideways and even downhill. So, got to keep that confidence up here. That fastball will make it 2 strikes. 55 pitches matches his jersey number here. And the curveball, a good eye there to make the count full. Melendez on deck, pretty talented hitter. Despite the fact that he's hitting in that 7th spot for New York. This one, it gets past the glove of Sterling Thompson. And the Yankees are on the board. Thompson had a chance there. It was hit pretty hard. But one of the things that's keeping Thompson on the field for us is his defense. He's no longer somebody that we're playing for his offense. I think we have better options offensively. So when you're playing somebody for their defense, you want them to make those difficult plays. Melendez, though, will fly out to Doe, so it'll just be the 1 run allowed for Barreto in the inning. Luckily, able to avoid the snowball that we've seen him suffer from in the past. Top back into simulation here. See if the offense can't get something going. Still just 3 hits through 5 innings. Our offense has continued to struggle against this New York pitching. So much more than any other pitching. But Veen extends the lead back up to 2 with his 2nd home run of the World Series. Double there by Aaron Judge. And here in the 6th, Barreto. Has the Yankees in scoring position again, this time with 1 out. And 1 on. Can he come away without allowing a run? First going against Austin Wells. Looks like Wells still plays catcher for New York, despite the addition of Henry Davis. Probably a platoon situation for that team. 1-2 pitch coming up for Barreto. Hangs a curve, but Wells can't time it up. Caught in foul territory by Thompson. Massey 1 for 2 today. Yankees really need him to come through in this spot. The Rockies really need him to not. Pitch count into the 80s. You probably got to think that, once again, this is the last inning for our starting pitcher. Getting ahead 0-2. Can we get a strikeout here? Not going to get a strikeout, and it's going to get past the glove of Brown. Throw from Herrera is offline, but the runner holds at third. Just the threat of Herrera's arm is enough to keep the runner from advancing. Which was lucky because the throw was not accurate. So had he tried to go for home, he would have gotten there.
1 ball, no strike.
Lind is hitless so far in the World Series. Gotta love that.
That's down.
2-0. Now the counts. Could really use a strike here. And that's going to be a pop-up to Sterling Thompson. Barreto gets out of the inning without allowing a run. Now our starting pitchers have each gone 6 innings. And Barreto's the only one to have allowed a run, but he only allowed 1. This is about as elite as you can ask a starting rotation to be in a World Series. We get a stolen base for Figueroa, so now it's our turn to get in scoring position. Let's take a look at Kyle Brown. Somebody who was drafted outside of the top 100 in his draft. You gotta be happy with what he has become. Even if maybe we're starting to think of what the second base position might look like after Kyle Brown. Just the fact that he's been a piece of the MLB team for this long is outperforming that draft slot indeed, and this time he has a home run. His 3rd of the postseason, hit a grand slam in the last episode. This guy offers some surprise power every now and then. He's got a very squat frame. That 5'9" build, and when he was first drafted, perhaps one of the reasons he fell is he was not projected to be a power hitter at all. But when you play at Coors, sometimes you just develop it out of nowhere. Just a little hidden benefit. Go on opposite field for that home run as well. I mean, you know, also slightly a product of the Yankees outfield being so short, but hey, we're not going to talk about that. Brian Doe, the automatic double, puts us in scoring position once more. Heck, we'll hop into it. Why not? Every time we've hopped in to look at Clemente Herrera, it's worked out, so let's do it again. Herrera, unfortunately, hitless today. I think he's a strong candidate for postseason MVP. I haven't looked at the rankings. I want to be surprised at the end. Last season I looked and I knew it was kind of a 2-man race between Herrera and Doe. This year I want to be surprised, but Herrera does have the highest postseason average on the team. He's driven in a lot of runs. If I had to guess, I would say he's probably favorite for postseason MVP once again. This time, he's gonna not pick up a sacrifice fly RBI. Suppose not the worst decision not to run there. That was a very shallow fly ball. We'll stay locked in here for Murillo. They're going to intentionally walk him. Cowards! I mean, they're bringing up... They intentionally walk Rafael Murillo to bring up the MVP of baseball. So, I won't complain about watching a Neil Dorsey at bat instead. Luckily, he got that one foul. Would have been a double play likely had it stayed fair. Now behind 0-2. Good eye there. That one was close. This one in the dirt to even up the count. This one gets past the glove of the third baseman. We'll only score 1, but I'll take it. Neil Dorsey picks up the RBI single. Good job battling back from an 0-2 start by the MVP. Zach Veen, 4 for 9 so far in the World Series, playing very strongly in that 5 spot. Ooh. That was off a good one there. One-two pitch is by Veen. 4 strike 3. Now it's time for Salas. Hit list so far today. I still remember Ethan Salas, his first spring training. I thought we were going to have a Murillo level superstar on our hands based on that one spring training. Hasn't been able to live up to that level of a power hitter, but I think I've become very comfortable and confident in the player that he has become. A little bit more of a contact hitter with elite defense and elite speed for the catcher position. He's, the second fastest player on our team, and he's playing catcher. And so, while maybe not worth all of the money we gave him on that 15-year contract, I think certainly somebody I'm very glad to have behind the plate here playing catcher for us. And he's going to pick up some RBIs here. 1 Rockies run scores. And sliding home safely is Murillo. Salas gets it done. Maybe even take this World Series, for example. I think he's caught either 2 or 3 runners trying to steal second already here in the World Series. Just a really, really valuable player. I think we've seen about enough of this sequence here, but we have the bases juice once again for Kyle Brown. 5 runs already in the 7th. Kyle Brown, a single there brings home 2 more. And the Yankees are forced to make a change. And that's the explosive inning that we know that this team is capable of. And it completely puts this game in a spot where you probably think it's out of reach for these Yankees, but never say never. They're putting together some stuff here in the 7th. Ultimately only get 1 run. Brian Doe crushes his 3rd homer of the World Series. Oh, Murillo brings home another home run as well. The offense, and then Veen gets in on the party. It's 14-2. The offense has exploded. This is the kind of offense that we saw last postseason. 11 runs in a 2-inning span. Sterling Thompson gets in on the home run fun. Clemente Herrera is the only one not getting on the fun. Can you do so now? Nope. 0 for 6 day for Herrera. Really hurts that postseason MVP case that he has. Michael Kopech will stay on the field, and with a 12-run lead, we'll just let the game play its course. The Rockies now with a 3-0 lead. We have a chance to sweep the Yankees and get our revenge with just 1 more win. I cannot believe how big of a difference the pitching has been. From truly and dishearteningly terrible last year to elite this year. I mean, we did allow 12 hits, so that's not necessarily elite if you look at that number. But 3 runs is the most we've allowed in a game to the Yankees so far in the World Series through 3 games. And our starting pitchers have allowed a combined 1 run through those 3 games. It's been the bullpen that's kind of allowed the Yankees some offense towards the end. Just really, really impressive stuff. And that's the benefit of having a more well-rounded team. I think last year we were very one-sided. We were being carried by the offense. And once that offense was shut down by the elite pitching of New York, we were in trouble. This year, it doesn't matter. We won in game 2 with only 4 hits because we shut the team out. That's the kind of team we have. As long as, you know, we're not struggling on both sides, we're gonna win games, because we're capable of winning a game pretty much single-handedly on either side of the play. We can win a game by ourselves with our pitching. We can win a game by ourselves with our offense. And now we have a chance to win it all. Clemente Herrera has dropped his average down to 288. So Zach Veen, I think, now hitting 318, has a really good chance at postseason MVP. I think he's played that well in World Series. Brian Doe, I think, has another really good case. He was second in postseason MVP last year. Could be coming for the crown this time out. But what really matters isn't who wins MVP, but who wins the World Series. And depending on the results of the game, it could officially be our Colorado Rockies. Kyle Bradish on the mound. Not been a great postseason for him. A 2.35 whip. That's the kind of man on a cold streak I want to face with the World Series on the line. Of course, his ratings are pretty good. He's a high 80s overall pitcher, so you can't bank on his struggles continuing, but you can certainly hope for them. Starts out with a strikeout of Brian Doe and gets us down 1-2-3. James Unger, the hometown hero. Can he bring the first World Series championship to his hometown? He unfortunately is allowing a run to O'Neal Cruz. Let's try and make sure he doesn't allow anything else here in the first. Going against Aaron Judge. Not the player he once was, down on 81 overall, but his fielding that's not great anymore. He probably should be a DH. His hitting is still really, really good. And he's an elite threat at the plate still. You can't miss against him. He crushed that ball. Luckily, it went foul. Unger are able to go ahead 0-2 here. That one outside the zone. Judge had to reach for it. Nice throw on the move by Murillo. Runner advances to third, but with 2 outs, all we need to do is retire Austin Wells here to get out of the inning. Fouled off there by Wells. Hitting 260 so far in the postseason and through that slider. Unger able to get ahead of the count once more. What can he come up with here for a strike 3 perhaps? A little bit too far outside the zone there to get him to chase. And the curve is inside the zone for strike 3 looking. Great job by Unger. Keep it to just the 1 run scored by New York. Dorsey will lead us off here in the second with a ground out, but Veen gets into scoring position. Rockies looking to answer back that early run allowed. With 1 down here. Oh, not a pretty swing to start the AB for Salas. 2 hits last game with a couple RBI on top of it. 267 overall so far in the postseason. Solid if unspectacular. One pitch is to O'Neal Cruz. The throw is off the bag, but Vientos was able to tag him instead. That's unfortunate. Should have been an error, but the throw was so fast that he had time to still tag him, even though Salas has decent speed, which we just mentioned a few minutes ago. Ahead of the slider that was right over the middle there. Unlucky. Hitting 289 in the postseason is pretty dang good for Figueroa. Doesn't look like he has a very good feel for what Radish is pitching him here, though. That one is lifted to the outfield. Jones giving chase, and it doesn't quite have enough to leave the yard, so the Rockies are scoreless in the second, and the Yankees will maintain their 1-0 lead. Massey with a single, but then a double play for Melendez, who just has not been good for the Yankees in the World Series. Thompson with a single, Brian Doe with a walk, and we have, once again, a scoring opportunity. This time we got the top of the order here with these scoring opportunities. Hopefully we can bring them home. 159 hits in the regular season for Clemente. And a light tapper is going to ground into a double play. Herrera on a bit of a cold streak. Hitless last game, now grounds into the double here. The one thing we did not want to see happen. Score remains 1-0 here. Dominguez with a leadoff single. Back-to-back strikeouts here and make it 3 in a row for Unger. Excellent job. The Dorsey double. I'm going to let it go just a little bit here. Now with 2 outs. Are we going to have the third straight inning where we waste a runner in scoring position and come away with nothing? We can't do it again. Fouling off the first pitch there. Figueroa played in 124 games in the regular season, had nearly as many hits. Come on, Figueroa! He's giving you so many hittable pitches, just connect with one. This one is going to fly out right to Melendez, and for the third straight inning, we get a runner in scoring position and come away scoreless. We're doing exactly the opposite of what we've been doing so far in the postseason, and Massey extends the lead. All World Series long, we've been taking advantage of the opportunities that the Yankees give us. Today we're doing the exact opposite. And now the Yankees lead by 4, and Unger is replaced. Couldn't even go 5 innings. And this kind of just looks like a game that might be going to the Yankees at this point. We have absolutely zero momentum, negative momentum. And the Yankees are starting to maybe piece some stuff together. We did hold them scoreless in the 6th at least. But our offense can't do jack crap right now. Our offense is terrible. What is going on? Somehow we were able to keep that leadoff triple from scoring. Bradish, who was terrible heading into this game in the postseason, all of a sudden was insane against us. And the Yankees shut us out. We go from 14 runs to being shut out. I kind of knew it, honestly. Once we went that third straight inning, coming up with nothing, that everything was just pointing Yankees at that point. You can't leave that many runners in scoring position and expect to win a game. How you go from 14 to 0? We got no hit. Oh, no, that's not. I was looking at that thinking it was hits. That was runs. I was like, no, we didn't get no hit. We had runners in scoring position. I don't know why I thought that for a grand total of 2 seconds. We had 5 hits, but we are shut out. Guess that's payback for us shutting them out in game 2. Can't come away with the sweep, unfortunately. But we can still finish off the series before heading back to Coors here. We'll go with the road jerseys today. Actually, we're going to go with the road pinstripes instead. Dolander, the absolute animal of an ace, is back on the mound. You got to be more confident than ever that we can finish off the World Series here in Game 5. I mean, I kind of get the result of Game 4 when you consider that the Yankees had nothing to lose. And we probably kind of felt like we had it in the bag. You can excuse that for one game, but it can't be that way here again. You let them get 2 in a row, and all of a sudden you're talking about a competitive series again. If we win here, then all is forgiven. With Chase Dolander on the mound, you got to be confident. Yankees also bringing out their ace here. They know the importance of winning this game. Winning 2 in a row doesn't sound nearly as difficult as 3. So, ace versus ace. What can we make of it here? And we go down 1-2-3 in the first. Fry with a double. And Dolander responds. And we've got a scoring opportunity for the Yankees here. Melendez. We get 1, we get 2, but the Yankees get the first run of the ball game. It was going to be pretty difficult to avoid bringing home that run. You had to basically start with a strikeout, then this double play. But unfortunately, the Yankees are on the board first here in Game 5. And the offense finally wake up and do something. I mean, we got to walk. That's something, I suppose. But geez, what is wrong with this offense? They just stopped playing baseball in Game 4. And we get on the board with a Zach Veen RBI double, allowing Murillo to score from first. So it's 1 apiece. Nice double play there. The second time we've caught the Yankees in a double play here in Game 5. Thompson with a single. And we don't do anything with it. And after that walk, the Yankees are once again in scoring position. This time we got 2 outs. Just need to retire David Fry here. They're giving the Yankees a 56% chance to win. Feels reasonable. Really need Dolander to get this out. Curveball in for strike 2 now. Let's strike him out. Slider outside. Or the fastball up high. Either one works for me. But Dolander able to get out of the inning. All right, now, can the offense pick things up, please? Murillo single and then a walk there. Veen has brought home the only run today. Now he's looking to bring home a couple more. Or I'm looking for him to bring home a couple more at least. The old reliable Veen machine. This one hit hard. Would have left the yard, but he hit it foul. Behind 0-2. And you're gonna be not loving that one when you look Back out on the replay, Zach. That was not a pretty swing. It's down to Solace on whether or not we can take the lead here, top of the 6th. A little late on that. Not a great World Series so far for Ethan. At least the last couple of games. Once again, falling behind 0-2. This one's gonna be popped up easily for Melendez. The Rockies waste more runners on scoring position. Sounds just like last game. Cruz a leadoff single here, but a ground into a double play right after that. Wells gives the Yankees back the lead. Hitless day for Figueroa. Hitless day for Kyle Brown. Sterling Thompson is like the only guy that came to play, him and Murillo. We're getting Shane Bieber out, which is a good thing. We need him out of the game. I hate going against this guy. It'll be Chris Clark instead. He's allowing a 500 average against right-handed batters. Guess who's a right-handed batter? Our boy Brian Doe. They're now saying New York has an 80% chance to win. It's a one-run ball game. How is there an 80% chance to win at this point? I think that whoever made that number doesn't know their stuff. That's all I'm going to say. Doe ahead 2-0. Oh, man. Ahead of the sinker. Herrera, 375 average with runners in scoring position. But has started to struggle these last couple games. Looking at that pitch makes it a full count. Ryan Doe's battling. Does not want to give this away. But Chris Clark's not making it easy on him. And he's going to go down on the strikeout in the dirt. The the Rockies offense has disappeared. I don't know what's going on. These guys literally just scored 14 and now we can't even. We've lost all ability to function. Ground out there. See if we can get out of this inning without allowing another run. At this point, that stat might be right. I don't know if we can get another run. This offense is stone cold. It's lost every bit of momentum and ability we've been building up this postseason. That was an absolute miss. And we are lucky that O'Neal Cruz did not turn that into a grand slam. That was right over the middle to a serious hitter. Now, O'Neal Cruz isn't nearly as good against lefties, so that's probably one of the reasons why. But can the offense come up with something? Dorsey's hitless. Can we do something? He gets a single. We get a single after that. I'm scared to watch, though, because every time I come in and watch, our team craps the bed. If we're going to tie this game up, you got to feel like it's going to be in the 8th because the bottom of our order is up for the 9th inning. Behind 0-2, just like that. Seems like it happens every single time I hop into our offensive players in these last two games. They're just instantly behind 0-2 almost every single time. And he gets the call on that. Are you kidding me? We're losing our second consecutive game. What has happened to this offense? That we have negative clutch right now. Negative clutch. All right. Going against Jose Alvarado. Excellent closer. I don't even want to watch. We're pinch hitting Levine in here. Don't know why we're doing that.
Up next for Colorado.
2 outs, and game 5 comes down to this. Brian Doe, hitless today. But he's not the only one who's disappointed on offense over these last 2 games. We're trying to steal into scoring position, and Kyle Brown is safe. Risky play there. Could have ended the game on a steal attempt, and knowing this team's luck, want us to surprise it. Didn't. But now a hit here from Brian Doe could tie us. Oh, come on. I know it's 3-0, but you gotta swing. What are you waiting for? This one's gonna get down for Brian Doe. He's come up clutch, and the game is tied. In the top of the 9th, the Rockies offense finally comes up when we need it to. So many missed opportunities these last 2 games. Doe decides not to miss on it here, but can we go from a tie to taking the lead? Herrera's the one with the chance to do it. Also hitless today. He's 0 for his last 10 at the very least. He does hit better against lefties, but Alvarado's very good. Of course, already has the blown save today. That is a pitch you cannot miss. Oh my goodness, he couldn't glove it. Both teams missed really big opportunities on that pitch. Herrera should have crushed it, and Vientos should have caught it. Another one over the middle, and the game continues on. We're not done yet here, folks. Despite playing horribly all game long, the offense has come alive in the 9th. Yankees switching it up to Carlos Hernandez, who's only pitched 1 inning in the postseason. Didn't allow a run in it. You've got Logan Cerny coming in to pinch run for Herrera. I respect that decision. Man, this Hernandez guy throws some serious gas. 102 miles an hour on his first hit. The Yankees faithful really want this inning to end. We've got megastar Murillo at the plate, who has 2 hits today. One of the few offensive players who hasn't been terrible up to this point. 2-0 pitch. In for strike one at 102 miles an hour. Well located there to even up the count now. Murillo hasn't swung at anything yet. And he'll continue to not swing at anything. Come on, man. Come up and play some offense. How do you let 3 straight pitches go right by you inside the strike zone and don't even swing at one of them? Come on. Valdez is also playing third base because we subbed out Sterling Thompson. We allow a single here to Melendez. A pinch runner. And a fly out. A fly out. And now we can see if we can force extra innings. Michael Kopech. Up and down in the episode so far. That was a bit of a miss, but Kyle Brown able to eventually throw it over to first successfully. If that had been late because he couldn't field it, I would have been livid. Top of the 10th now. No runners. No extra inning runners in the postseason. Dorsey starts with a walk, but we ground into a double play after it. Strikeout, strikeout, and the walk-off home run from Aaron Judge. You're kidding me. The Rockies dropped 2 straight, dude. This team is so annoying sometimes. How do you do this? You just need the offense to not literally crap the bed in either of the last 2 games. The Yankees still haven't scored. Like, they scored 3 today. How can you not beat 3? And it took them extra innings to get there. This offense is way, way too good to be playing as terribly as they have over these last 2 games. I don't care who's pitching. I don't care. This is terrible. Finish off the series. We're putting our season in the hands of Neil Dorsey here in Game 6. Ideally, I would pitch Jose Barreto so that Dorsey could have full energy for Game 7 if necessary, but Barreto's not full energy, and I want to end the series. There's no way we should allow this team to win 3 straight. We are better than the Yankees, and we need to start playing like it. I had to take a short break between games 5 and 6. I was so angry at this team's lack of ability to do anything for 2 straight games. On the bright side, though, we are back in front of our hometown fans. Fans that we have performed very well in front of so far in this postseason. We know we can beat this team. We know we can blow this team out. We know we can shut this team down. Just need to actually do it. We scored a combination of 2 runs over the last 2 games. And we hadn't scored less than that in any of the previous 3 games. The offense has slowed down to a halt. Hopefully, the hometown crowd can boost them back up. But when you need a win, no one else you'd rather go to than the MVP, the back-to-back MVP at that, and Neil Dorsey. It's time to win the World Series. Start things off with a strikeout there, and another strikeout. Does allow the walk, but that's it. Brian Doe with a single. But we go back-to-back-to-back outs after it. So nothing doing for the offense once more. Figueroa with a single, and he gets into scoring position. Kyle Brown has the best clutch rating on the team. Really need him to show it off here. That's going to get past the glove of first base. Kyle Brown will score the first run of the game. Let's go. Taking advantage of our runners in scoring position. We've been doing it this whole postseason, except for these last 2 games. We need to start doing it again. Great start there. We strike first. And when you strike first, that's usually meant good things so far in the World Series. Automatic double. Gets in scoring position once more. Let's hop in for a Murillo at bat with a runner in scoring position. And Brian Doe will stay at second with that pitch in the dirt. It was nicely corralled instantly there. And Murillo! The 2-run blast extends the Rockies' lead. Playing a course was just the jolt of energy this offense needed. 4th homer of the postseason for the Silver Slugger and megastar, fan favorite here in Colorado. He's been with this team for many years now. Somehow just continues to get better. Very glad we were able to hop in and witness that. We got another home run from Veen. Veen's does all of his home run damage when nobody's on base. I wonder if he has a quirk. I don't think he does. But it's 4-0 for Colorado. This is the start that we desperately needed. Kyle Brown in scoring position. We are in danger of wasting that leadoff double here. Clemente Herrera, ice cold. Ice cold after that 3-hit game 4.
No ball, 1 strike.
This will be a great time to get back in the hitting column. Not sure why he didn't continue his swing there. That one fouled off. That will remain 0-2. Hit very hard, but it's fouled off once more. Solid battle. That one, maybe not his best swing. So his cold streak will continue here. Dorsey allows a double there. This is the Yankees' first opportunity to score here in the 5th. I mean, haven't mentioned it yet, but Neil Dorsey having another just excellent start. Been more focused on the offense because that's what's been bugging me these last couple games, but the pitching is as good as ever with Dorsey. And again, this guy has pitched all of his starts at Coors Field. It was he and Dolander before Dolander got the start in New York last game that were doing all their damage in the toughest place to play. Although New York's not an easy place to pitch either, if we're being honest, with that small outfield. 1-2 here, and swinging at the slider. Vientos is down, and Dorsey keeps his scoreless through 5. Could he go back-to-back games without allowing a run in his start? That would be pretty spectacular here. Papa for Murillo, walk by Dorsey. And the Yankees make a change as Chris Clark now. Veen puts a man in scoring position, and Salas makes it 7-0. The Rockies offense woke up for Game 6. Hallelujah. And then Figueroa says, I'm not done yet here in the inning. 4 Rockies runs in the 5th. And they already switched pitchers again. Dorsey does allow the Yankees to get on the board, so it won't be back-to-back shutouts for Dorsey. That'll be all he allows, though. Probably, I would guess, the end of his day. But going 12 innings pitched and allowing 1 run in the World Series is elite level stuff. And he does actually come out for the 7th. Gets a double play ball there and the strikeouts. I love Neil Dorsey so much with my entire heart. Offense really struggling. Dorsey will come out for the 8th as well. Allows the leadoff double. A little bit of trouble here, and we bring in Kopech. But Kopech, not the guy I would bring in here. It's 8-2. Jordan Thompson with a double here. And now, top of the 9th. This is the Yankees' last hope. We bring in Rich Walsh. Why not? Strikeout, ground out. And can the Rockies officially win the World Series here at home in front of the fans? Maybe that's why we sold games 4 and 5, because we wanted to win it at home. That's the storyline I'm going with. Our offense doesn't suck. They intentionally sold games 4 and 5. That would make me feel better. It is always nice, I feel like, winning the championship of whatever sport you're in. If you could do it in front of your hometown fans, I always think that's good. Well, maybe only if you only have to blow 1 game to do it. Maybe not blowing back-to-back games. I think that's when you start to get a little bit into risky territory. But like the gentleman's sweep in basketball, so you can win it in front of your home fans. That's something that I don't mind at all. It's a full count here. Melendez not wanting to end the season easily here. Taps it to Kyle Brown. The throw is accurate, and the Rockies have won the World Series. We have built this team from nothing. Removed the entire 40-man roster. Used only the farm system. Not a very good farm system at that. And the amateur and Rule 5 drafts. No free agents added to this team. And the Rockies are World Series champions. We did it. 7 years is what it took, and that's if you count the first year, which I think is kind of more of a half year. And there you have it. Our manager, playing on the last year of his contract, goes out with a bang. We're certainly going to try to re-sign him now. It was a question mark whether we try to bring him back, but Vance brings us the hardware for the first World Series championship in Rockies history. 12 hits, 8 runs. The offense came to play. Neil Dorsey, what a freaking stud. Goes 7 1/3, allows the 2 runs only. The Rockies win. And the postseason MVP goes to, that's the World Series MVP and the playoff MVP both go to Zach Veen. Very worth it. I mean, very deserved. He was awesome. He was truly awesome. Neil Dorsey ends up getting 2nd place. I think that's also with how well he pitched, if you consider that. Very well deserved. And then Brian Doe ends up in 3rd place. I would agree with these were our 3 best players in the postseason. I think Murillo had moments as well. I think if he had a better NLCS, he would have been in the conversation. But he was just good in the World Series and the NLDS. But wow, it feels good. In MLB The Show 23, I could not finish off and win the World Series until I did the long-term sim. It just I couldn't finish off the project, but being able to build a team from nothing to World Series champion using nothing but the draft is a really awesome feeling, and being able to do it along with you guys is even better. I still remember the day that I was on stream and we all discovered there was a two-way generational prospect in the draft class. We had the #1 overall pick. That was my favorite probably moment on my channel up until from the time I started it to now. That was an incredible moment, and he's been even better than I thought he was way back when we discovered him. And I love this team. Every single person that gets significant playing time on this team, I love them all. They're not perfect. Sometimes I talk about replacing them. Sometimes I say that I need Figueroa to break out or I'll replace him. Sometimes I'll say Kyle Brown might need to be replaced, but it doesn't matter. I love all these guys. What an awesome group of players. And we didn't even get to see Rico Salazar yet. He's probably coming up next year. Where's he going to play? I don't know. We didn't even get to see Juan Rocha yet. We didn't even get to see Richie James yet. We didn't get to see Gordon Pringle, Anton Hernandez yet. Ralph Gilmore yet. Johnny Brennan yet. I mean, not only is this team so incredibly loaded with fun, awesome, easy to root for players, but there are more coming down the pipeline, which is just incredible. It's been a true delight building this team up from here. At this point, it's really just how many championships can this squad win, and whether or not we find out in a long-term sim or whether or not we continue going. If I do continue, it'll probably be like a year an episode, something like that. Maybe a regular season episode, then a postseason episode every year until I get to the long-term sim. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to take this time. I'm recording this on a Saturday. It'll release on a Sunday, so I'll have a little bit of time between now and when college football comes out, and then I'll have time when college football comes out, and I'm focusing solely on that game for a little bit to consider how I want to wrap this series up and how much longer I want to keep going with it. But I also want to hear your thoughts, because I'm not dead set on anything. But viewership is definitely starting to die down, and I think part of that is because of the college football game. And as much as I wish that viewership didn't have a big impact on how excited I get to record and edit episodes, it just does play an impact, unfortunately. Like videos that are getting more views, more comments, more likes, those are videos I just like recording those more, because I like interacting with you guys. It's the only reason I have a YouTube channel at all. So anyway, thank you for all the support you've given this series up to this point. I think this is the last episode before a long-term sim. It's been a blast, and we'll see how these guys end their careers. If it's not, then I'm excited to continue seeing how these guys develop. But what an episode. What a satisfying end. Really wanted to sweep them. Maybe got mad at a couple times in this episode, but ultimately nothing but smiles here at the end. And whatever happens next, I'll see you then. Go Rockies!